Don't go up there! Careful, careful, careful! Oh, I wouldn't do that. Don't go up there! Very stupid. Don't go up there! Silly cyclist!
Welcome to episode 32 of Silly Cyclists, starting right off at number 10. In this clip there is a slower cyclist to our right, and as we set off and go down into this road, he feels he's in an uncomfortable position, so he wants to go to the left and join the cycle lane, but in doing so fails to indicate or look clearly. Just remember to do that to avoid causing collisions with the vehicles behind you. Number 9 is a clip from Really Good, and this cyclist here just went straight through the red light. Really couldn't care less and is not going to gain much for it. He continues to attempt a track stand but can't quite balance, so continues moving forward, and eventually his front wheel actually goes onto the other side of the road and forces the last two car drivers to make adjustments in their turning circle to avoid colliding with him. Remember to stop at red. Number 8. A clip here from the Fire UK, and I'm presuming here from looking at other parts of the video that you're not allowed to cycle the wrong way down this road, so these two police officers are certainly not setting the best example by A, not indicating into a turning, and B, cycling the wrong way down a road. Number 7. A filtering boo-boo here. Just watch the other cyclist to the left does a little stumble because he wasn't quite prepared to stop. Just remember, if you are going to filter across traffic like this, be prepared to do it slowly and potentially put your foot down, as you really don't want to cause a collision with another cyclist or a motorbike, for example. Just watch the rider in yellow ahead. He is here going to weave his way through a series of pedestrians and a motorbike/scooter to jump through the red light. Really, you're only going to be saving a few seconds and you're putting people in harm's way, and you're making some of us look like fools from your actions, so please remember to stop at red. And this is a perfect example of why you should stop at red, as this cyclist in front has literally just filtered past this police officer when he does so again and blatantly goes to a red light, which, as we turn back around, is now a filter light. So again, the time you've gained is really minimal in this situation, but you're going to lose some time because further down the road, a police officer's caught up with you and pulled you over. I just hope he gets a little more than a stiff talking to. So don't forget, stop at red. Number 4, a clip here from A Precer. And up ahead there's a zebra crossing with a pedestrian on the right waiting to cross. And as you can see here, does a little step out but goes back because, I don't know, maybe he's Doctor Who, we can see what's coming up in the future, and decides to stop. The best thing to do when you're approaching zebra crossing, you see any pedestrians nearby, is just slow down, be prepared to stop. After all, they're the most vulnerable road user and we should be looking out for them. Clip here from Red V 2002, and I could have made the majority of the Silly Cyclist clip with just this one if I split them all up, but I decided against it. So we have a set of traffic lights up ahead. Few cyclists have already filtered past that lorry, and it's hard to see what kind of space there is in this situation. My personal preference is to do what Red V does and just hold back because you don't know what it's like. And a few cyclists are filtered up there and appear to get forward fine, but this cyclist debates about it, slowly does it. And because he does that, he gets a few cyclists caught up in the blind spot or the danger zone of a lorry as it's pulling away. One of them, thankfully, holds back, but the best thing to do is just copy what Red V does here, take control of your lane as he's setting off. Number 2, another clip from Red V, and this cyclist in front, you could say, is cycling ferociously. It's going to probably a bit excessive speed for the situation and doesn't quite plan ahead, so here he has to pull around a traffic island right in front of this megabus, and the last thing you want is for that megabus to clip the rear of your wheel, because there's only one thing that's going to happen, and that's you going under that bus's wheels, which is not going to be a pretty sight, and you're probably not going to survive a sort of collision like that. Another one this week is from Cycling Mikey. I'm going to try and keep this quick because I want to let his audio do the talking for the rest of it. But this cyclist is absolutely appalling in a shared pedestrian zone. Just listen out for the dinging of his bell. It just shows the completely wrong attitude that some people have.
Slow down, mate. That's going on YouTube, that is. That was a appalling piece of riding. Yeah. If you look for silly cyclists, there's a whole series of them.
There is indeed a whole series, and he's number 1 for episode 32. Good cyclist this week is from Squirrel Base. I'm going to get that right eventually, I promise you. And as he's waiting at the red lights, which he was for quite some time, he was able to assess what's coming up ahead of him. So he knew that there was this lorry parked in the cycle lane, and what he needed to do as soon as possible was get a good shoulder checks in, indicate and take control of the lane, and he's done it perfectly. So remember, when you're stopping at red lights or anything for that matter, use that time wisely, have a drink, have a rest, and have a look at the potential hazards coming up ahead. That's it for episode 32 of Silly Cyclists. I've been your host, Gaz545. Don't forget, cycle safely.